So you mentioned about, resources and internal faculties. Not a lot of people, possess that or know that, they already possess that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it important to kind of go inward to kind of search for that? Or do you feel like it's a combination of going inward and external as well?
Well, you got to fix the inside. So that, again, when we talk about peace is the internal peace. Because if you're not peaceful within yourself or find love within yourself, you're not going to find it outside of your body. If you're looking for, with somebody, with a partner, or a job, or even an activity, that's not going to be there. You have to find it in yourself. Because so when I did try to kill myself, one of the first questions my acupuncturist asked me, do you love yourself? I paused. And if you pause, you know the answer. The answer is no.
What's going on? My name is Dr. Colin Zhu. You're here at the Thrive Bites podcast. We are here at the lovely LA Convention Center at the Best You EXPO.
Woohoo.
Thank you so much for taking the time out. Please introduce the audience who you are and what you represent.
Sure, I'm Dave Chametzky, and I have my own podcast, Peace, Love, and Bring It Back, but I also am a mentor. And what that really means is helping you overcome, receiving the clarity and overcoming challenges that we have. And not only the challenges, but also to take you to that next level, to soar. Because it's not only about challenges. Even when you're in a good situation, you want to make sure that you're always soaring. We want to keep growing, and we don't want to be dying.
Oh, I love it. You got to show the bat.
Yeah. So.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
And the bat is all about bringing an awesome thought. So that's why I think you and I align really well that way. It's not about violence. It really is about finding the things that make us swing. And when you hit that sweet spot, you know you hit it.
I love it. So how did you arrive to, to this point where you felt like you needed to, bring this message and help others?
Well, the story is interesting because I've been a mentor and coach for the past 10 years. I've been helping people with extreme traumas and things like that. And then about 4 years ago, I was going through some traumas. And much like everybody else, doctor doesn't heal thyself, or, we have a gym membership and we don't use it. So I wasn't using my resources, and I got into a situation where it got really dark, and I tried to kill myself. I tell the story regularly. And during that period, I heard a voice saying, it's not your time and you need to talk about it more. So I needed to heal myself and, take care of myself properly. And I was like, all right, we're going to talk about this. So I had a TEDx talk about it, about rising in resilience, because one of the things you and I were talking before, the resilience is really so important because it's not only, we all fall down in our lives. Nobody walks through life without a trip. And how do you get up? And that's the really important part, is how we get up and keep moving.
Nice. One of my favorite analogies, I live here in Southern California, is a surfing analogy. And, I always equate, big waves, small waves as different kinds of obstacles and challenges in life, right? And they're just going to keep coming. So it's really about how you manage that surfboard, and you're going to be knocked off, right? But importantly, like you said, getting up more times than you fall down. So
can I just say, because you mentioned about waves, so I want to just give your audience, and I'm going to just rub my hands, and what that is, it creates delta waves in your brain. Yeah, you do it nice and slow, and what happens in 10 or 15 seconds, it starts creating the delta waves, which are the brain waves we use when we go to sleep anyway, right? Our body creates it automatically. And by doing that, that's your reset button. So whenever you're going through challenges, no matter what challenges you are, you can rub your hands and nobody's going to know about it. There's other ways to do it, and it's also a really powerful technique that you could help you with other things, overcome some other challenges. But this is always your reset button. I love talking about it because we always, no matter what goes on in life, we need a reset button. You're in traffic, you rub your hands, and you're in the place that you're supposed to be.
I like that. It's like cost effective. You can do it on your own. You don't have to go anywhere. That's great.
Yeah, it's empowering to everybody else.
So you mentioned about, resources and internal faculties. Not a lot of people, possess that or know that, they already possess that. Is it important to kind of go inward to kind of search for that? Or do you feel like it's a combination of going inward and external as well?
Well, you got to fix the inside. So that, again, when we talk about peace is the internal peace. Because if you're not peaceful within yourself or find love within yourself, you're not going to find it outside of your body. If you're looking for, with somebody, with a partner, or a job, or even an activity, that's not going to be there. You have to find it in yourself. Because so when I did try to kill myself, one of the first questions my acupuncturist asked me, do you love yourself? I paused. And if you pause, you know the answer. The answer is no. And it was a concept I didn't even think of. It shook me to my foundation. I was like, yeah, I always liked myself, but did I love myself? There's a big difference between like and love. And that's why I try not to use the word love too often, because like I always ask people, do you love pizza? And everybody raises their hand. And I'm like, I hope you don't love pizza. You can like pizza, you can like your car, but I hope you love your partner, you love yourself, you love your children, not just like those people.
You know what, I just had this conversation not too long ago, and it's almost like outwardly expressing love is such a taboo. Why can't we socialize more, just outwardly expressions of love, you think? And what do you think needs to change in order for that to happen?
Well, I think conversations like this, especially you and I are both male, or identify as male, and because I know when I talk about this, even for years, people will be like, come on, Sissy Mary, stop talking about that, or things like that. And I'm like, I'm comfortable with who I am. That's one of the reasons why I have the green suit, is no matter what, you can see the green suit.
You should see this guy walking around. It's great.
Yeah, but it's also a grounding color.
Yeah.
So one of the things I like about it is that it's very grounding. And this is who I am. So once I've lost all that, it was ironic, was one of the nicknames I had growing up was Kid Ego. And at the end of the day, when I tried to kill myself, I killed Kid Ego, because it's very, and most people aren't successful. So I also want to, anybody who's thinking about doing it, please go see a professional and make sure that you reach out to somebody. And just know that 89% of people who attempt suicide are not successful. And that's really important. We hear about the 11%, and it's horrible for the 11%. But we need to go back to the Desmond Tutu quote, where we go, these people are falling in the river. Why don't we find out why they're falling, going up the river a little bit? We need to talk about it more.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much your question.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it, mental health. We can't say, oh, you're just so crazy. No, if you have some challenges, that's okay. Find out how you manage those challenges and balancing those things.
Yeah.
And I think as a society, that's where we're short.
Yeah, and I think for males, speaking and identifying as a male, it's very important, I mean, you come from different walks of life, as Americans, and so different cultures, I come from, an Asian descent. It's not, it's more taboo, to outwardly express, love and affection, talking about your emotions. And I hope that this could be a message for everyone, especially males that are watching, that, let's go beyond the locker room, and, talk about things. What is your opinion about vulnerability and how far we need to go? And, what are some subjects that some of your audience, talk about that are hard to talk about?
Yeah, well, I think that's what it is. It's all about vulnerability. Being your most authentic self. I mean, that's one of the acronyms for the BAT is, bringing authenticity today, or being authentic today. Being vulnerable lets you know that you've fallen down. I'm not perfect. I mean, I have friends who look at my social media. Oh my God, you're great, you're awesome. I'm like, no, I'm still the same guy who messed up all those things, and I embrace it. I've learned from those things. So that's why I walk away a little bit from the saying that I'm a coach, because a coach to me sends in plays, tells you what to do. And where I'm a mentor knows how to get you out of those deep, dark circles. And that's what it is because I've been there.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it feels like for me, and it's just my experience. It's not, I can't tell you that every experience is like that, but it's definitely my experience. So I know at least we can at least sit in the same space.
Yeah. What is the next milestone for you that you want to achieve as a coach and as a podcast host?
Well, what's really nice is my podcast is actually increasing. So the past month, it's been blowing up. It's really just continue to grow my audience and meet amazing people and having amazing people on the podcast. I think that's the biggest value that I found is you never know who's going to listen to it. And I've had friends come over. That was a really great episode. My wife said this, or they listened to it and they made me listen to it. And you don't know who's listening to it. So
exactly.
You never know who's going to hear the message. So I'm always proud when somebody says, man, that was a great episode. I mean, I just came out with a book and in December, and
congratulations.
Thank you. People are reading it and they're like, that was good. And like friends of mine are like, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, well, you didn't know I can write? But it's one of those things that keep being as vulnerable as possible and putting yourself out there. And as for the coaching, I just want to be in more places like this, surround myself with as many people like this with yourself as well, and just figure out, the more we surround ourselves, the more we're able to talk about that vulnerability.
Exactly.
And, because you might not be able to talk about it in the locker room, but you could talk about it when you find that safe space. And that's one of the many things I provide.
And especially with COVID, and less frequency of, meeting each other, let's continue to do this virtually, having the podcasting, listening to, other episodes, things like that. So, hey, Dave, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
How can people reach out to you?
You can reach out to me. It's not a lot of David Chametzky's, so that's a big help. So you can reach out to me on social media. That's my name all over. Or listen to the podcast and email me. My email for personal email is on the path ny@gmail.com. Or peace, love, and bring a bat.
Yeah, show the.
There we go.
There you go. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.